Hello, everyone. If you like what I'm doing here, please consider subscribing, liking, and commenting. It would really help the channel out quite a bit. Thank you very much.
It's the Frontline Theater. Today, presenting an exciting melodrama, Johnny Eager, starring John Garfield, Carol Landis, and Robert Page. And as our special guest, Benny Carter and his famous orchestra. This is Ken Niles welcoming you again to the Frontline Theater, brought to you men in the armed forces of the United Nations by the Special Service Division of the War Department. This is your theater, and every performance in it is presented especially for you, the men fighting with the United Nations on freedom's front line. Tonight's play is the story of Johnny Eager, a drama full of passion, suspense, and action. The stars are three names from the top roster of Hollywood's fame department. John Garfield in the title role, beautiful Carol Landis as Lisbeth Bard, and Robert Page as Jeff Harnett. So, on with the play, because everything is set for another stellar Frontline Theater production. Well, on the first day of each month, Johnny Eager donned his cab driver's uniform and drove his cab to the building housing his parole officer and made his report. Because on the surface, Johnny was an earnest and reformed young man, his friendly, cooperative manner blinded the parole officer to Johnny's underlying viciousness. And then, on the day our story began, Johnny met a girl in that office, a girl who changed and shortened Johnny's life.
There's something else I don't exactly understand about your work.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to barge in, Mr. Verne. I'll wait outside.
No, come in, Johnny. Sit down. This is Miss Lisbeth Bard, Johnny Eager.
Hello?
I'm glad to know you.
Lisbeth is studying sociology. I'm her homework.
Oh, I'll take that job.
Mind if Lisbeth sits in while you make your report, Johnny?
Oh, help yourself. Here it is, all filled out.
Mm-hmm. But, Johnny, this is splendid. You keep your parole as clean as this, and you'll be out of our hands in a year.
If you don't mind my asking, Mr. Eager, what were you sent to prison for?
I hit the jackpot. They sent me up on 38 counts. But Mr. Verne can tell you that that's definitely from yesterday. I'm a changed man. Hello, Jeff.
Well, Machiavelli returned. Where did you tie your yellow cherry?
And the patter. Where's Julio?
He's around. What happened with you and the parole board? Did they give you a lollipop for being a good little boy?
Look, Jeff, crawl out of that alcoholic mist and find Julio.
Thy wish is my command. Hey, Julio. Johnny wants to see you.
Okay. What do you want, boss?
You see Halligan?
Yeah.
And?
No dice.
What do you mean, no dice? I've got $500,000 in this racetrack, and we still can't open. We've got to get that injunction lifted. We've got to start those dogs racing and raking some dough in those mutual windows.
There's only one guy who can get that injunction lifted.
Who's that?
The city prosecutor, Farrell.
Farrell. I've got to run into him a second time, huh?
Look, Johnny, he helped the DA send you away once. There wasn't any pushover then. Go easy now.
John Benson Farrell. That righteous old jerk. That's a hot one. Well, Farrell or no Farrell, this track is going to open. And no pot-bellied city prosecutor is going to make a sucker out of Johnny Eager. I hate this joint.
So do I. The liquor stinks. Hey, waiter. Bring me another one of these kerosene cocktails.
That's a fine note when you can't even get a decent drink in your own nightclub. You know, I got a feeling those mugs are chiseling in on me, and I don't like it.
Relax, Johnny. Have some fun. Have a drink.
No, I've got to figure a way to get something on John Benson Farrell.
Farrell over a barrel. Interesting thought. You know who you remind me of, John? Herod Agrippa. That's it. Herod Agrippa, 1943.
You're drunk.
Now, Eager, that's obvious. Very obvious. You're out of character when you're obvious. Adroitness is your racket. Hard, clever, and adroit. That's your description.
Here we go again, kids.
Some people think I'm a stooge for you. They don't know that I'm a modern Boswell, meticulously recording for posterity the doings of a unique individual. An individual out of the days of the Medicis. And I'm your Boswell.
Mr. Rieger, I'm sorry to bother you.
What is it, waiter?
Your girl over here. Any money to pay a check.
Oh, she hasn't, huh? Those college kids think they can get away with murder. Let me talk to her.
Yes, Mr. Rieger?
Well, Miss Bard, what brings you here? More homework?
Hardly. The gentleman I was with tonight became quite intoxicated, excused himself, and wandered away, leaving a bill for $85.
That's okay. I'll take care of it.
Yes, Mr. Rieger.
Oh, won't you sit down, Miss Bard? Oh, this is a friend of mine, Jeff Hartnett. Elizabeth Bard.
I'm glad to know you, Mr. Hardner.
My pleasure. Think I'll be on my way, Johnny.
Oh, don't dash off, Jeff.
Sorry. Got a date to play Monopoly with a couple of greyhounds.
Okay. Well, this is a surprise, Miss Bard.
Yes, isn't it? I see you've branched out from the taxicab business.
Huh? Oh, did the waiter tell you I owned this joint? He was just ribbing you.
I wonder if the parole officer would take it that way. I like your suit. Lovely material. Fine tailor cut that coat.
Huh? Oh, this? Oh, it's just a hangover from the days when I was in the big money 5 years ago.
5 years ago? They were quite a ways ahead of the fashions, weren't they? Don't lie to me, Mr. Eager.
Why not?
Because I have no intention of reporting you.
I better take you home. Come on.
Good night, Mr. Rieger.
Good night. Get in. You better tell me where you live.
Holbrook Hill, just off Marley Road.
Let's stop all this Bush League nonsense. You don't want me to take you home, and you know it.
Of course I don't. Of course I don't want you to take me home.
Come here.
I hope you meant that.
What makes you think I didn't?
If anybody told me about a thing like this, I'd have burst out laughing.
What's funny about it?
Oh, it's so hackneyed. It's almost, well, for a better word, corny. Love at first sight. But nobody ever believes it, I suppose, until it happens to them.
We'd have met again, sooner or later. I was having you looked up.
Why?
Why? You just called it, didn't you?
Love and fear must be very close. Awfully close. Because I'm quite frightened.
Nothing to be frightened about. Nothing at all.
Been?
Oh, I'm sorry, Father. You shouldn't have stayed up, though. The silliest thing happened. Floyd vanished and left me with the check. Mr. Eager got me out of a lot of trouble. Johnny, this is my father, Mr. Farrell.
Your father?
Her stepfather.
Why, of course. I guess everybody in the world knows John Benson Farrell.
Especially you, Eager? We're acquaintances of long standing, Elizabeth. I had the pleasure of helping to send Mr. Eager to the penitentiary. Not for as long as he deserved. I served as a special prosecutor without fee, just as a public service, for the pleasure of ridding the city of vermin.
Please, Dad.
Good night, Elizabeth.
Oh, just a minute, Eager. We have some things to discuss. Go to bed, Elizabeth.
Had I...
Go to bed.
All right.
I'll make this short and sweet, Eager. Don't go near my daughter again. Don't try to see her. Don't phone her. Don't write her. Now, get out.
This is marvelous. I do you a favor by helping your daughter out of a spot, and you declare war on me.
You heard what I said. Thief.
You mean ex-thief.
Get out, thief.
The big shot John Benson Farrell doesn't like his daughter knowing a taxi driver. Well, there's no law against my seeing any girl I want to. As long as it's all right with the girl.
You didn't learn a thing up the river, did you?
Look, Farrell, you can't touch me. My parole record is clear.
Wouldn't it be odd if you were picked up on suspicion?
I'd be on the street in an hour. I'm clean.
But wouldn't it be odd if a gun were found in your pocket? It could happen. There are cops in this town that think a lot of me.
You'd frame me?
Certainly.
You'd turn crooked?
You made a typical thief's mistake. You banked too much on an honest man's honesty. Sure, I'd resign my job tomorrow and frame you on my own. I'd frame you or I'd kill you if it'd protect my daughter. Now get out, thief.
Thanks, Mr. Farrell. Thanks for giving me a swell idea. Come in.
Johnny.
Darling,
Oh, it's been so long.
I didn't know whether you were come or not.
Did you think anything could keep me away? This is a beautiful place, Johnny.
You see the greyhounds?
Uh-huh. Jess showed them to me on the way in. They're wonderful. You love dogs, don't you, Johnny?
I guess so.
What kind did you have when you were a kid?
None.
Oh, you poor darling.
Huh?
You never had a dog. That's dreadful.
Listen, there's a million things I never had that I needed more than a dog when I was a kid.
But it sort of tells the story of Johnny Eager so completely. He never had a dog when he was a boy.
Don't worry about what I missed. I'm getting all these things now.
But you missed something, Johnny. That's why you're the way you are. Johnny, where do we get off? What's to become of us?
Don't turn ordinary on me. How do I know what's going to happen to us? I just live here.
Oh, I didn't mean to turn ordinary on you, Johnny. It was just an approach to get you to say you loved me.
This is how I tell a girl I love her.
A very pretty picture, I might say.
Julio, this is no time for a social call.
Do I pay a social call with an automatic?
Have you blown your topper?
No, Eager. Never no blew my topper. You played me for a sucker, Eager. Julio don't like that.
Put away that gun. Let's talk sense.
Johnny.
Stand aside, sister. Eager, this time you get yours.
Johnny!
Now move it, sister.
No! Johnny, look out!
Liz, the gun. Pick up the gun.
I've got it, Johnny. Johnny, be careful. He's got a knife.
Lisbeth, do something. Thanks. Thanks, Liz. If you hadn't pulled that trigger, I'd be messing up the carpet instead of Julio.
Doctor. Get a doctor.
He needs an undertaker, that daffy chump. I wonder what's eating him. Come on. You gotta get out of here.
I can't, Johnny. I can't run off and leave a dying man.
Listen to me, Elizabeth. We're both in this jam. Big jam. And here's what you've got to do. Get in the cab, go straight home. I'll take care of the body. Don't say a word to anybody about this. Not a soul. Because if this gets out, darling, you and I are practically on the train to the pen. Now get out of here.
All right, darling. Good night.
Okay, Julio. You can get up now.
Is she gone?
Yeah, the act's over. Wipe the ketchup off your shirt.
Was I good?
Terrific, terrific. Too bad there wasn't a movie scout around.
But the blank sure sounded real. I'm so all over with ketchup, I smell like a hamburger sandwich.
Julio, I just looked at my hand. I'm holding all the high cards now in this friendly little game with Mr. Farrell. And all I gotta do is lay 'em on the table.
And so the curtain falls on Act One of Johnny Eager. Well, it's intermission time in Frontline Theater, but don't go away because there's no lull. They're rolling a portable bandstand out on the stage, and sitting on that stand waiting for a cue is Benny Carter and his famous orchestra. Benny has been drawing big crowds into the dance halls all over America. And when you hear him now with one of his outstanding new arrangements of Midnight, you'll know why. So come on, Benny Carter, give.
same old moon again has found me, alone and in the mood for loving you. Midnight, the hour I long for your returning. I feel this glow for you still burning, because my heart forgets that we are through. I can sleep to see you. That's an old scheme. I can keep or free you when I dream. At midnight, the magic hour when lovers make up, I'd rather sleep and never wake up than go on dreaming dreams that won't come true.
Thank you, Benny Carter, for bringing your swell orchestra here to play during intermission. We want you to be back with us soon. And now, Act Two of tonight's Frontline Theater production, Johnny Eager. It's the day after Johnny Eager framed Lisbeth with a false murder, making her believe she had shot and killed a man. As the curtain rises, Lisbeth's stepfather, John Benson Farrell, is calling on Johnny, which is just as Johnny had planned it.
Well, John Benson Farrell, the big shot himself. I sort of had an idea you'd be dropping in today.
What happened to Elizabeth last night?
A nice layout I got in here, Farrell.
What happened to Elizabeth?
What does she say happened?
She's hysterical. I think she's losing her mind. Eager, if you've done anything...
She'll be all right in a couple of days. She's not in any trouble. I'm covering up for her. You're the one that's in trouble, Farrell. Wake up.
What do you mean, covering up for her?
Elizabeth was here last night. A yeg I know busted in, gunning for me. It was quite a ruckus, and while he was trying to carve me up, Elizabeth shot him in the back with his own gun. You believe me for covering her? She saved my hide.
It's impossible. Elizabeth.
You saw her face, didn't you?
Any witnesses?
None I can't handle.
Where's the gun?
Oh, I've got that safe with her fingerprints on it, just in case you might try to think of some way to pin it on me.
All right. I have no choice. I'll have to keep quiet.
You'll do more than that, Farrell. You'll have the injunction on this track lifted. I'm opening up Saturday night.
And if I don't lift the injunction...
I'll blast the whole thing.
After knowing a girl like my girl, after knowing Elizabeth, a girl that loved you enough to kill a man, you'd do that to her?
I don't know from that love routine. This is business.
All right. Open Saturday. I won't shut you down.
The winner, Dang Winner.
That's it. The final race for today, and the net take is 42 G's.
Not bad.
I feel generous. Here, Julio. Here's $50. Go buy yourself a swimming pool.
I feel generous, too. I'll give you $100 out of my half of the take.
Your half?
Here, Johnny. I'm going to take $21,000 starting today. Julio gets you 50% of the net.
Who taught you arithmetic? Where'd you get any ideas like that?
I figure I'm a leading man in this little play. And if I happen to speak of my lines to the right audience about the bottle of a ketchup and a blank cartridge, curtain comes down on this racetrack like a ton of brick.
Come down off that cloud, you small-time squirt. Who do you think you're bossing around?
Johnny Eager.
Get out!
I'll get out. But this time, Julio holds the cards. And don't call me Johnny Eager. I'm not a bluffy.
Quite an exit Rasputin just made.
Dirty little double-crossing heel.
Don't tell me Julio's getting big ideas.
I'll pull him down a peg or two, Jeff.
Here's something to cheer you up. Your fairy godfather just called. Farrell wants you to come a-calling.
Elizabeth.
She must be pretty sick for you to get an engraved invitation.
Thanks, Jeff. I'll go right over.
Don't you think you'd better start hoping it's all a bunk about that Judgment Day stuff?
Thanks for coming, Eager. He's in there.
Okay, Farrell. Hello, kid.
Johnny. Oh, you shouldn't have come. There might be someone, but they might...
It's okay, kid. We're both covered in this. It's happy days. You've got to snap out of this.
Hold me, Johnny, darling.
Hey, you're cold.
Johnny, there's one thing I have to know. Did that man... Did he have any family?
Oh, no, not a soul.
Oh, thank heavens. Been on my mind, so thank goodness for that.
Listen, Elizabeth, you've got to be tough about this.
Oh, I am, darling. I will be. Your parole has less than a year to run, hasn't it?
That's right, but what?
And after that year, they couldn't take you back for just being present at a thing like that, could they? I can hold out that long. A year isn't so much. If you'll just hold me like this every now and then.
Hey, what are you getting at?
They'll never get a word out of me until then. Oh, darling, it'll be such a relief to tell. I see him every minute, rolling over on his back. All over his shirt. That awful noise he made in his throat.
Tell who what?
The police. Everything. As soon as it won't get you into trouble. I must. You can't live with a thing like that in your heart. It's only the thought of them taking you back again that gives me the strength to hold it back that long, Johnny. Don't you see?
Oh, holy moly. Kid, holy suffering.
It's all right, darling.
Listen, just be quiet a minute, see? Just don't say anything till I tell you something. I'm telling you I love you. You hear that?
I've known that all along, darling.
But for the first time, I mean it. Elizabeth, listen to me. I mean it. But you've got to get yourself set. Get all set to start hating me.
Hating you?
I used you, understand? You never killed anybody. That guy worked for me. That gun was full of blanks. I framed the whole deal just to think you were in a jam. That wasn't blood on a shirt. That was ketchup. I used the whole thing as an angle with your own man. He still thinks it's on the level. That's why my dog track's running. He doesn't dare close it because I've got him on the hook. He's afraid I'll spill the beans about you. Don't you understand? I framed you. You've got nothing to worry about. That guy's walking around like you and me, no more dead than we are.
Oh, Johnny, darling. My darling, I love you so. To think of such a lie. Such a gorgeous, dear, wonderful, fantastic lie.
No, that's the straight truth.
Oh, such a dear, beautiful lie to make your very best girl feel better. Oh, Johnny, darling. It's sweet. I'm so tired. I want to lie down.
You've got to believe me.
Sit down, darling. Here, beside me. Hold my hand.
Look, don't you see it? It's just a gag that...
I know. A gag. And he looked so mad there for a minute, trying to make himself convincing.
Kid, listen.
Want to go to sleep? Too tired for more jokes. Just hold my hand, Johnny. I'll sleep now, darling. I'll sleep so quietly because I know you love me.
Jeff, we've got work to do.
I'm at your beck and call, Master.
Get Elizabeth. Drive her over to Julio's place, park in the alley, and wait.
For what?
I'm going to march Julio out there on his own power, so Elizabeth can see him alive. It's the only way to get her straightened out.
What makes you think Julio will want some fresh air?
He'll do what I tell him to.
That ain't the way I heard it, Chuck. Julio's running his own show now, and he loves it. I hear he's practically out of blank cartridges.
I don't figure Julio to roll out any red carpet when I come along, but I can take care of myself.
He's a killer, John. He'll either get you or you'll get him. You'll climb right back into the death cell. There's no parole from that.
Don't worry about me. Get going.
Sure. So long, John. Johnny,
What now?
you ever been out to the Rockies?
Are you nuts? No, I never been out to the Rockies.
Oh, they got high mountains out there. Like Christmas trees with lakes as clear and deep as you ever saw in your mother's eyes. Let's go out there and climb a couple of mountains.
Will you get going?
Okay. I'll get Elizabeth to Julio's. So long, Johnny.
So long. And, be waiting for me when I get there because I may be in a hurry.
Jeff, what's happened? He's been in there 10 minutes.
Horatius at the bridge. That place is swarming with Julio's pals like maggots.
If anything happens to him...
All we can do is sit here in the car and wait. To roll a dice. Look, the door's open.
Who is it?
Julio.
Keep moving. Straight ahead, Julio.
Johnny's right behind.
Hello, Elizabeth.
Johnny.
Well, there he is, kid. Alive and kicking. Ugly rat, isn't he? You see him, don't you?
Yes, yes.
You can get some sleep now, huh? Now you know you didn't bump him off. You don't have to hold that thing in anymore, see?
I see, Johnny. I see.
Open the rear door, Jeff.
Right.
Get in, Julio. We're going for a ride. I said get in.
I'm not going anyplace.
That's your story, Mug. Get in.
Johnny, these are my boys that watch you from upstairs. You got a back like a bullseye.
Johnny, look out!
You win, Julio.
Yeah.
You win the lead jackpot.
Johnny. Oh, Johnny, darling.
Hello, Liz. Jeff.
Yes, Johnny?
What's the highest mountain? Where we're going?
Don't try to talk.
I love you, Lisbeth.
I've got to get a doctor, Jeff.
It's too late.
What did he say? About a mountain?
A mountain? Sure. He could have climbed the highest mountain in the world. If he'd started up the right one.
Well, men, that ends today's Frontline Theater production, Johnny Eager. There'll be lots more plays coming your way soon, and they'll feature Hollywood's top flight stars, so keep on listening. This Frontline Theater play was presented for you men in the armed forces of the United Nations by the Special Service Division of the War Department of the United States of America.